Ed, let's start with your new contract, of course. First of all, how happy are you to get that done and sort of extend your stay here?
Yeah, really pleased. And look, it's not what I've been used to before in terms of how early we've been able to get it done and agreed. So, you know, for me, being settled, my family being settled in the area, it's great to know where our future is. So, yeah, delighted to be extending the stay. And, you know, I've only got positive things to say about David and the club for being proactive and getting us signed up early.
Is that a sign of where you and Gloucester are, or is it a sign of the longest pre-season that anyone's ever known?
No, I think everyone knew what was coming with the World Cup and the delay, so that was always in the planning. But in terms of Gloucester and the club getting us done early, I think it's a sign of how much importance they put on keeping the squad consistent. They've obviously recruited heavily in the last 2 or 3 years and brought in some really good players. And I just think it's a case of keeping that squad together and picking 1 or 2 to come in every now and then.
Because when you arrived at Gloucester, that was a deal that was done very quickly as part of the Johnny May deal. Yeah. How happy have you been with the way that things have turned out and also the way that Gloucester have grown within that time?
It's been fantastic, much better than I could have ever expected, really. As I say, I was very, very embedded at Leicester and I didn't know much else, so the change for me was a new experience and changed the way I looked at the game, working with Johan and his philosophy and also the ability to work with the players like Danny Cipriani and the other guys around him. So for me it's been a great experience and something hopefully I can carry on for the next few years and hopefully beyond rugby as well if I can stay in the game.
Yeah, how much growth is there still left in this Gloucester side, do you feel?
A lot, yeah, without a doubt. You know, last year was a great year, but it wasn't perfect, and we recognise that, and we also know that other teams are improving around us. You know, in terms of recruitment, you know, they brought in, you know, Bath, for example, got a new director of rugby, so teams are looking to improve around us, and we've got to keep up with that. We can't just stand still.
Yeah, league starts this weekend away at Sale. That's always a tough test. Is that the sort of forward battle that you relish?
Yeah, without a doubt, we've always had tough battles up there with them. They're a very physical side. They pride themselves on that set piece and around the park. They like to dominate the collision. So I think for us it's a real test. I think there's massive improvement in our forward pack still. So we'll be looking to set the tone a little bit off that first game.
And how important is the pace that you can add to the game to manoeuvre their pack around?
Yeah, I think you know we want to play at pace. No doubt that's Johan's philosophy. That's the game he played at the Lions. That's how he was successful there. He managed to create a game that was very quick and took it away from the other South African sides who are traditionally very forward based. So no doubt that's our identity, and we work off quick ball. But there are areas in and around the game that we've got to be good at as a forward pack to make sure that happens.
Yeah, it's building the platform, isn't it? In terms of absentees due to the World Cup, obviously it's something that Leicester when you were there used to deal very well with. What's the secret to it? Depth
of squad, keeping the other guys interested when you know, perhaps those frontline players are starting regularly and they're having to hold a bag in training. It's how you can keep those guys hungry and keep them developing, and I think that's probably where the Prem Cup's been good for us. These 4 games you've seen a real opportunity for guys who may not have featured a great deal last year, come in and start a lot of games and get a bit of experience in front of a packed crowd at Kingsholm, for example, against Bath. So, you know, a few guys have held their hands up and shown they're ready to play, and you know, no doubt if they keep working hard, they'll get an opportunity.
So actually more value in the development of those players than, you know, worry, you know, that outweighs the form of the 4 defeats. That's not a worry.
It's not a worry. Obviously you want to win games. But it was also an opportunity to test the depth of our squad. As you just mentioned, we got guys away, so people are going to have to come in. People like Charlie Chapman, who are going to feature with Willie away. We need him to be firing. So their development, for me, is probably a priority in that Premiership Cup. You know, obviously we want to win and like to have got a couple of results our way, but there were sometimes small margins.
And even without Willie Hines in the team, you look around who's left at Gloucester, the likes of yourself, Danny Cipriani, there's still plenty of leaders in that team, isn't there?
There is, but there's no doubt, you know, Willie's leadership is massive for us. He's obviously a key part of our squad, and you know, he's a very cool head, and I'm really glad to see how well he's doing with England, and no doubt he's having a benefit to their squad. So he'll obviously be welcome back with what he brings, and hopefully he's had a great experience, which will only add to our squad.